everyone, welcome to the W2 Report Live into the Metaverse. I am your host, Sanji Himura. I am joined today by a special guest. We will introduce him in a minute. But meanwhile, let us lay down some ground rules.
Rule number 1, don't be a dick. Rule number 2, if in doubt, please see rule number 1.
Yes, and we are joined by a special guest this evening, or whenever you watch this little VOD. We are joined in the form of Alec. Please say hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. Who are you, and what makes you so cool?
This question again. Okay, so as from last time, if you've not seen the stream from last time, I mentioned I was a game dev, and in my hobbies and my spare time, I go after scams and find scams that are quite interesting and take them down.
All right. And of course, we are always joined by Lord Crocker Squirrel. Thank you for joining us again here on the W2 Report Live.
I'm gonna get you for that, Sanji. You stole my freaking question, bunk. I have a rolled up newspaper over here with your name on it. It's the Sunday edition of the New York Times with the ads all still in it. Just wait. I'm gonna get down to Texas one of these days and I'll bring that newspaper. And then beware your nose. Dude. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yes, by the way, I will be taking photographs so you can see what's left of his nose after I'm done with it.
All right, folks. Let us do a brief recap here tonight on Earth 2 and what makes it such a bad thing all the way around. So let us start by introducing one Shane Isaac. Thing here.
Scam monster extraordinaire.
Oops, that's not what I was supposed to do.
You were supposed to be ready for this, Sanji. You told me you were ready, and now you're not. What's up with that? Nobody likes a surprise. Okay, some people do like surprises, just not that kind.
Because apparently my window capture is not working.
This is what you get for using OBS, dude. Seriously.
Yeah.
Don't yeah me. You're supposed to check this shit in advance. Didn't I tell you?
I did.
Don't worry, folks. Technical difficulties happens all the time in professional radio. Wait, this is YouTube.
Yeah, this is YouTube, all right.
Yeah, okay. More or less the same thing, if we're being completely honest. Because I'm not actually seeing what he's doing, so I don't know what he fucked up. Or how he screwed it up.
Let's say hello to Mr. Shane Isaac. He is the founder of Earth 2. But before that, he was the founder of XYZ Social Media, as you can see down here, down below. Now,
just a quick tip. It's shit. Don't go there.
Yeah, exactly. Earth 2 is a thing where they are trying to make a video game that is on a 1-to-1 scale with planet Earth.
No, that's what they said they're gonna do. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, because there is a thing going on with Earth 2 and how it makes its money, but we're not going to talk about that here because we're going to save it for the next review to developer, which is when?
Probably Wednesday.
All
Assuming
right.
we don't, probably on Wednesday. That'll be over on my channel because that's where review the developer happens.
Let's see here. So, if we are being perfectly honest here,
that we should be.
Yes, as we should be. He boasted on his LinkedIn that he has 20 years of professional experience. Unfortunately, however, this has changed since this morning, and he is saying, and he's given his personal information.
Ooh.
So we are going to censor that. So what's happened here is boasted 20 years of professional experience, and he lists 2 jobs. One starting in December of 2016, and the other started on November 2020, which is Earth 2, of course. Now, Alec, what makes
Yes.
this so? What makes this so suspect?
When you are part of a game development team or any team or studio, you have credentials. So every place you've worked, even if for 21 years experience, you have a portfolio that you've worked with. Each company has titles. It gives you a title for your role, and then you, in your LinkedIn profile, you put in, or they put in, you've worked here. They verify you've worked there, and so forth. This guy's got nothing like that.
So, let me finish something here because we are on live TV after all. So we are now going to be joined by No Black Thunder as soon as we can get him down here.
Get in here.
Yes, he's here.
Hello.
Howdy.
Maybe not. Hey ho!
Hello.
Hello
How'd
and
you drag
welcome
your ass?
to.
Oh, okay. Sanji, you must have dragged him in.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. That, as long as I know how it happened, we're okay.
Okay, so we are discussing Shane Isaac and his
Lack of provable
professional-
experience.
Yes, because we also have a thing going on. Let me do this. This is TV after all. We also have a company called, and I will type it in the chat here.
Is this the one for the IPs?
This is Type ME.
Ah, yes. If anybody actually looked at the patent abstract that they filed, he's patented a method for spyware, where they can take remote control of a phone, even, and they didn't
Exactly.
even bother to hide it.
Exactly, and we are going to make Shane Isaac very unhappy with us after this, because we routed out that through an abstract on Gripio, and yeah, there's that going on. From Type ME, he went on to XYZ social media, and from there he founded Earth 2. Next abomination is
Our next abomination.
Daniel
Well, it's not
Dolderson.
our next abomination so much as it's his next abomination.
Yes, we have Daniel Dolderson.
Nathaniel,
Nathaniel. My mistake.
not Daniel, because somebody there's bound to be somebody with the name Daniel, with the name Daniel Dolderson, that will be very unhappy about you defaming him. Don't do that.
Okay. He is the lead game developer for Earth 2.
Supposedly.
He joined in June of 2019, and he is based in Australia, of all places, or rather
Like
Austria.
No, it's Australia. It is in fact Australia, and I've had some. I have actually had Australian people apologize for his very existence. They've apologized to the world in general for the fact that Nathaniel even exists. Now, be aware that Nathaniel is not actually a complete waste of skin.
No, he did develop a video game called Drone the Game.
Oh, that's not why. That's not why he was a. He's not a complete waste of skin. He's not a complete waste of skin because he's got a Unity plugin that actually works. It's for generating terrain from images. It's
Yes.
What is it? Terrain Creator 2. He actually did that. He did that. That is a thing that we can prove. So, not a complete waste of skin.
Right.
Terrain Creator
At the
2,
moment.
is that basically just taking height maps and applying it to a plane?
Yep. High density.
Okay.
But that still means he did a thing that is actually useful for some people.
It's honestly not that hard to do in general if you know a little bit about what you're doing. I mean, as long as you
There
can
are
code a little bit.
but there are a great many people who wish to be game devs that don't know how to do that, and as a result, he gets credit for that.
And
He
also
gets credit for
it's
making
pretty
that available.
standard. It's pretty standard engine feature, both Unreal and CryEngine already from before.
Well, Unity does that too, or well, Unity now does that now, but people that want to operate in Unity didn't have that option. They do now. Therefore, still not a complete waste of skin. He did a thing that works as advertised, as opposed to Earth 2, which never will.
Yeah, okay. I'm just reacting because he made some wild claims and put out some odd videos with wild things that are like, what?
Yes.
I'm talking about a legit thing he actually did,
Yep.
or at least he has sales rights for. So
Right.
we have credit where credit is due. He did do a thing. He does know how to code, but abandoning Drone the game, which is what how you will find it on Steam. Drone the game. It's $20 if you want to go look at that. I don't recommend it. It doesn't look very good. But if you go look at Drone the game, it was actually abandoned. It was abandoned by its makers. Just a couple of months after it released. So that's no good. We can't have that either.
Okay, our next person is Ivan Kirito.
Is he the
And
one that worked with Dolderson on Drone the Game, or is that somebody else?
That's somebody else, sir.
Okay, that somebody else is on the list. So,
okay, he is a chief technical officer of Drone the Game, and he is actually based in Russia.
from the name, one can make that. Well, from his name, one it's safe to make that assumption.
Yes, that's true.
So now tell us something we don't know.
Okay, what we don't know is he's also director of Trigio LLC from October 2011 to January 2021.
And what do they do? What makes them cool? What do they do?
All right, let us see what we got. Nothing,
It sounds
because
like
it's
this
abandoned.
is it's really not.
Because it's entirely in Russian.
Okay, so he did a Russian thing with Russian stuff, and we're not 100% sure what it actually does. But it's cool somehow.
Yes.
But somehow it's supposed to be cool.
Yes, and we don't know much about this company other than the fact that it exists. And he is also he's also an engineer over at iqghost.ru. And he was there from November 28, 2008 to October of 2011.
That's still not helping that's still not helping the guy's case. You know that, right?
No, he's not. All right. We also have some things going on with Wolfgang Walk. He is a German and a game concept and designer on Earth 2.
Okay, game concept. This is actually easy. Game concept designer is almost the same as idea guy.
Haben Sie eine Idee? Sehr, sehr gut.
What?
Ja, haben Sie eine Idee? Ja, sehr gut. Ja, ja.
Yeah. Oh, wow. The sad part of it is I actually caught all of that. I haven't taken any classes in German since 7th grade. And then I had a whole 9 weeks of that.
You're lucky.
Poor you. Poor you.
Well, no, I was in Germany at the time.
Ah.
Even worse. Way worse.
And that's before they did and that was before they did the great language reset that they did here about what 5-10 years ago. 10 years ago, I want to say it was. They like
And
overturned a large chunk of German grammar.
Oh, that's way over 10 years ago. I think that's almost 15, 20 years ago. Something in between there.
It was a while ago, and I remember it being a huge thing then.
Mm.
I remember a bunch of people being very pissed off.
oh, we have our first ties to real estate. He is also a narrative and gameplay designer over at Phoenix Reality, which he is still there, according to his LinkedIn.
Or maybe he just hasn't updated.
That's true.
I'd be interested. Phoenix Realty, huh? Well, maybe that's a sideline for him because R2 isn't going to make a lot of money. Well, okay, that's a lie. It has made a lot of money, more than $36.5 million. And that from the hand of God, being Shane, who actually said this thing on a live stream. And he's about to find out why it's not good. Why he is likely to find out very soon why it is really not cool to start ragging to start ragging people that criticize you.
Yes, because Streisand effect and all that.
Amongst other problems. The Streisand effect, I think, is the least of Shane's problems at the moment.
Yes, that's true. He is also a narrative and puzzle designer for Jerry McPartlin, The Flute of Anzia.
That game was shit. And the puzzles were garbage too. So
And he is also a frequent contributor over at the Games Podcast, which you can see on your screen. Which you can see on your screen right here.
I will have to look at that later. Can you post a link someplace there, the Sanji?
Yes,
That would
I
be
can.
good. Please. Any place where I can get to it. That would be great.
There you go.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, I've heard of these folks. It just wasn't clicking.
And he is also self-employed for Walk Game Productions. And all of these are from his time of start of employment to the present, which means 2005, 2016, 2019, and November 2020, respectively.
I'm impressed. Not.
All right, our next guy happens to be one Adam Russell. He is only there to finance the game, according to his LinkedIn. Which means he is he is an investor of Earth 2 from December 2020 to present. Do you want to know who else is an
problem?
Yeah. You want to know who else is an investor?
That actually sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah. You want to know who else is an investor?
Somebody that isn't you?
Yes, one Tony Murdy.
Oh, wasn't he the guy they booted out of the director's position? Like in the UK?
Yeah, they did.
Anthony Mady.
He is the CEO of Merck Capital from 1997 to present. 24 years. So
he owns a he had what was it, like a 30 or 40 or like a 30 or 40% stake in the company at like what is it, 1p a share, 1 pence per share, and then they kicked him off the board. Then they kicked him off the board of directors.
Yep.
But I think he's still technically invested in. But
Yes, he's
why he
still
would
a
invest?
share.
Why? Yeah, I'm still wondering why on earth the valuation of that company was listed so low, except to
What was that?
avoid taxes,
Yeah.
which means the shares themselves are actually perfunctory.
Mhm.
Which, funnily enough, is a strict no-no in some places.
Yeah.
Like the United States. You can set your share prices to whatever you want, but if you're if you're working on the minimum, that means you have to. If you do something like that, that means you're having to try and work off of £1 sterling, as opposed to what you would actually need. And they don't look at you. They don't tend to look at you quite as hard, or at least some people would think that. If your company's worth almost nothing,
Yes.
and £1 sterling is effectively nothing.
Mhm.
What I want is to get my hands on. I want to see if I can find £1 somewhere. I might be able to work it out, and then try for a hostile takeover. No, I'll give you your money back. You can have the money back. You can have your money back. I'll even give it to you right here. Just give me your shares. But nope, give me your shares. I'll give you your money back. I tell you what, just because I'm a nice guy, I'll give you double your money. I'm better now. Figure by the time I get to about 100 times their money, they'll probably just fold. Yeah, no, they won't. Because the whole see, if I could get 51 shares, I shut the fucking place down. I would vote the company out of existence because I could do that. Well, you have to work for no, I don't. I have to work for my own fiduciary benefit because I'm the majority stakeholder. Now everybody. I will pay everybody out at the. I'll pay the remaining. I'll pay out the remaining shares at the rate of purchase or the current rate, whichever is higher. Because of course, and then shut the place down because you guys are stupid.
Next up on the list, we have Joyce Savlovsky.
Good old Ski. What's so special about him? What makes him cool?
He does not list Earth 2 as his LinkedIn.
Don the Gene.
Yes.
Because what makes him cool or not cool? Most likely not.
He does not list Earth 2 at all on his LinkedIn.
Ooh, I can imagine that would.
However,
Not until there was a product that was actually functional, useful for something that isn't a securities market that is intended to be shut down at random.
However, according to the Earth 2 website, we have Joyce Savlovsky as DevOps and advisory.
See, here's the problem. I want to know what DevOps actually means in this context, or at all for that matter. Has anybody else heard that term used in a realistic fashion?
I think
Alec?
I have heard it before.
Yes, I have.
Oh well, good, because that actually just makes me the ignorant one. Please educate me.
Okay,
I
so
want to know.
basically, DevOps is a combination of software development and IT operations side. So it's basically software development and the IT operations, which could entail systems maintenance, software quality, continuous delivery cycles and so forth. And it's merged into one as called DevOps.
Okay. So so this is an actual job title that works.
Mm-hmm.
This impresses me.
Yes, he is a CTO over at Pictail Games.
Ooh, Chief Technology Officer.
He is a team
Now I'm
leader
impressed.
over at IT Labs. He
I'm
is
not
a
sure where
software-
What
Yeah,
does
go ahead.
IT Lab do? I'm kind of curious now. I want to know.
The interesting thing for me is if you look at his employment time is actually pretty short, 2 years or less.
What is that for? Is that for individual jobs or total?
For individual jobs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because that's actually not a possibility.
I just think it's low changing jobs that often. I mean, that begs the question: why? Is it bad paid and he got a better opportunity, or did he didn't do a good job, or why do you change
Well,
your
it
job?
depends on what. That would actually depend on whether or not he walked on his own, or he was run out.
Mm.
Because
That's true.
I've walked away from jobs that just turned out to be hot garbage. In fact, I've walked away from jobs that have been way over in the scam department. And yes, by the way, I turned the folks for those jobs in, but that doesn't exactly help my employment history, if you take my meaning.
Yeah.
So he could have been forced out by some means because because he's being a pain in the ass. For him to have short times with a number of companies. The question, of course, is how many. How many are we talking here?
Yeah. We are talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 10 jobs.
Oof. That's kind of a lot. Over what period of time? What period of time are we talking about? Are we talking about 20 years, or are we talking about 15 or 10?
At least 15.
Okay. So that leaves us with a couple of thoughts on the subject. Most of which actually involve him being somehow a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah. All of these experiences with nothing to show for it. Oh.
Except, says Sanji.
NextSense. He was employed by NextSense twice.
For 3 years and then only 10 months.
Yeah.
3 years and then one for 10 months. You know what that says to me? Contract work. Short-term contract work. You see it a lot. You actually see it quite a lot in actual game coders' resumes, believe it or not. People that'll go to work for EA for a couple of years until the release they were working on comes out, and then all of a sudden they're looking for work again.
Right.
But 4 months, 10 months, that is quite a short time. It's not even a year, which begs the question, why that short? Because nobody likes a future that is unpredictable.
Right.
Exactly.
Which suggests there may actually be something else to this. My little brain says contract work because I had a period of time where I was doing contract work, and we had similar shit going on. You would have people on board that would onboard. They'd be there for a few months until their part of the project was done, and then they'd be gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's not unheard of. Unusual for most professions, but most definitely not unheard of in game as far as I can tell in game development, because I've been done that way a few times myself. How about you, Alec? Have you ever been done like that?
I have, yes. I've also had that done with a photography company as well. When I did a photography job at the weekends, I did for a company that was contracted out.
Hmm.
So it does happen, unfortunately, in any industry.
Yeah.
It
I
depends on the company, and it also depends on the person who's employed you and how long they want you to take the work on for.
Right.
I just think it's important questions that you need to ask.
Yes, of course. All
Absolutely.
right. Our
In case
next
anybody's
guy.
wondering, in case anybody is wondering, Alec here is not the only one here with game dev experience. I've done it myself.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I have some idea whereof I speak. Probably wasn't doing it as long as he has though. So,
Me. All right. Our next guy is Gwen Vaughn, and I know I am mispronouncing that intentionally. So
well,
be it.
you butchered the Russian's name too. Holy crap! Did you butcher that? You made him sound like a girl up front.
All right. He is working at Earth 2 as a cloud engineer, part time, of course. From December 2020 to present, he is at 7 months.
But not full time, mind you. I can understand. See, he's the only guy. He's the only guy here that I can think of that actually has that absolutely has a reason to exist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the nature of, and that's because of the nature of what Earth 2 is doing right now. You need the IT guy. You also need this guy because he's doing all the cloud work, and nothing exists in Earth 2 without that website.
Right.
And the idea that they could even run that effectively without some sort of cloud server and service is that's gonna be hard to justify.
He is also a security consultant over at FPT Software.
Okay, cybersecurity, that would make sense.
And an infrastructure engineer over at ID.xyz.
Okay, fair enough. He should have that skill set too.
He is also an IT leader over at a bank in Vietnam.
Wait, what?
A Vietnamese bank. Is that
Yeah,
like
okay.
a Vietnamese bank? Sounds like Venezuelan democracy
Yeah, it does not exist.
or Nazi Jews. Kind of a thing.
And a network
I
administrator
apologize
over
now,
at the same bank.
Sanji. I owe you an apology for your monetization. All right, rip. Rest in peace, monetization.
As if I had any to begin with.
Well, yeah, but now that I've broken out Godwin's law, that's probably not gonna end well.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. My fault. That was my fault. That was honestly, I as soon as it fell out, I regretted that. But it was the only bit. The brain says no. That's probably about as effective an example as you're gonna get.
Yeah. And we also have the man who replaced Tony Murdy.
Mehdi.
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 Say it after me. Mehdi. Better. Not great,
Better.
but now you're in the position of forgivable. Kind of.
Geoff Hudson Searle.
That's Jeff. Geoff is pronounced Jeff. Get it straight. And I'm surprised you didn't jump on him before I could there. There, Alec.
Sorry, but you need to
Oh no,
learn.
you're too busy giggling your ass off at the way Sanji butchered that.
He needs
Yes?
to learn, unfortunately, though.
Huh?
We'll have to help him. You'll have to help him one day.
Yes, he needs to. He needs to learn proper English.
I went to
Don't
school
worry,
in
Sanji. We can save you.
Texas.
We have the technology. Say what?
I went to school in Texas.
Texas. Yes, we know you went to school in Texas. It's absolutely obvious.
Moving on.
I'm okay. Apparently, the dance portion has started again. Let's rank the host. That sounds like fun. I wanna. Can I please?
Let's roast Jeff for a little while. He is the senior independent, non-exclusive executive director over at Earth 2 in the United Kingdom.
Is that? I have a question.
Yes.
Is that actually his job? Is that his actual job title? All of that crap?
Yeah.
Because non-exclusive. Oh God! What the hell was this guy thinking taking the job? Oh wait, that's right. He's probably got the shares that Medi was forced to abandon, or something.
And he's also the senior independent, non-exclusive director and chair of the remuneration committee over at Remco, over at Store Magic. My mistake.
Eh? How is that? A, how is that not a conflict of interest? And B, why the hell is he taking something that says a job title with non-exclusive written right into it?
Basically, that means that he's not tied to that company. He's not exclusive to that company.
I understand what non-exclusive is. It just seems like a really bad. It's a really bad look. That is a horrible look. That is a terrible, terrible look, and he should be ashamed of himself.
Oh, hello. He's also the managing director over at International Business and Exclusive Executive Management Limited, or the IBEM.
Hello?
Yes.
That was word salad. But I don't think any of his jobs aren't actually some form of word salad. What the hell does that even mean?
I have no idea.
When you're working two non-exclusive contracts and now there's an exclusive contract? Or did I hear that incorrectly?
Managing director.
Exclusive? Does it say exclusive or not exclusive?
No, it doesn't say.
In that case, that's his primary job, or most likely to be.
But you see how it says all present all over the place? It has not been updated since. It all says present on all his roles.
Yes. Advisor to the executive board over at IDS, or Intelligent Delivery Solutions.
Okay. You say if they say so.
And he's also a part of the advisory council over at Global Cyber Academy.
How can you be a part of so many companies all at once? This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's what's bugging me. What was that last one again?
He's part of the advisory council over at Global Cyber Academy.
Hold on a second. You guys keep going. I'm going to do a thing here.
And he is also advisor to the executive board over at the SISP Technologies Limited. But he left that company on May 2021, just last month.
Wow.
He is also an independent, non-exclusive director over at Push Technology Limited. He was there from January 2018 to April 2020.
Wait. I just searched up Global Cyber Academy, and the first hit I get is a site that has at the end sample@email.com. Wait, that doesn't even look like a real company.
No.
It's supposedly a real company. Some of the information I've got, but their primary website is
Oh, here we go.
Is based on a platform called Moodle. It's
yes,
Moodle spelled
yeah.
with an M.
Yes,
It's a template site.
Ah,
Yeah.
it's actually an open source learning platform, but yeah, mainly secondary schools and schools use them, and universities.
They say that there is some claim somewhere that they were supposed to be. Hold on a second here. Can we just put www here? Because this is a subdomain.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the subdomain, and the subdomain is the
Here we
first
go.
thing you get sent to.
Oh, I love it. Download the prospectus and donate right on at globalcyberacademy.com. Online UK diplomas. Industry leading module tutor and course leader. Employability. Finance and funding. Let me see. Going on here. Multiple locations. Apparently, they have physical spots. May access their study facilities during opening hours in Plymouth, London, and Dubai. Okay, then. And they say their courses are accredited in the UK,
which
is
I find horse garbage.
shortcut. Can we do a thing? Can we do a thing here? Doop. This looks like, honestly, if I had to guess, because it actually looks like 52 weeks deployment in cybersecurity in a year for level 5. With
No, these are
pounds.
they are legit. They are they're a sub program inside universities. It looks like Buckinghamshire New University, business school of some Royal Air Force organisation, degree program. Okay, see it all over the place, right?
Okay. So they are actually a thing
Yes.
where you can take a
qualification.
you can actually take a qualification here. Okay, fine. Because I'm looking at it and thinking, is this a fucking diploma mill? Because it sounds like one.
Yes,
right
it
off
does.
the top.
It
It
does.
sounds like a critter, and the download prospectus and donate buttons right at the top, right front and center on the top of the page. That doesn't make it look any better. That's a very bad look.
No.
If this was an investment site or a site that was actually looking, I would expect that kind of behavior from a hedge fund.
Yeah. The strangest thing is it says dissolved on the month of February 2020, according to Companies House.
Really? So
yeah,
they're still taking students. At least that's the way I'm hearing it. Okay. Yeah,
All right.
There is no evidence that they're off. Everything here looks like it's actually still valid, or at least either that or just hasn't been updated since it was dissolved.
All right. Finally, we have Dylan Co. He's supposedly a freelance business advisor over at Earth 2.
Freelance.
Freelance, yes. And hold on, I think this is a conflict of interest. He is a Korea manager, country manager / managing director over at the DTCP.
TCP?
DTCP.
Okay, that doesn't help me. Repeating the letters at me is not helpful. What do the letters mean?
Delta, Tango, Charlie.
You're repeating the letters at me again, Sanji.
I'm
What
sorry.
do they stand for?
I'm sorry, I didn't know what you mean. It's
Okay.
a okay. It is a it is a investment management group that focuses on growth equality in digital infrastructure. Founded in 2015, the firm has raised more than $1 billion. He's basically a hedgy, a hedge
I
fund
hate
manager.
those. I'm really starting to hate those hedgies.
And he is under contract with them. Visit this website
Oh,
here, or
apparently, would you like to know what they stand for?
no,
Please.
please, please, and thank you.
Dutch Telecom Capital Partners.
Okay, that makes more. Now that's actually making some sense.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we have context for everyone, let's go with that.
Hmm.
Carry on smartly, Mr. Sanjin.
He also works at the IEEE for 4 years, 7 months.
IEE.
Yeah.
Okay.
Working at various positions, including a P33079 working group chair.
Okay, we are back to shit that the average human being is not going to get a grip on unless they know that industry very, very, very clearly.
That's true.
So you might want to break that down now.
Would
Uh,
you
Even
like
if
to know
I
what that
even
is?
if I did know, I'd still be asking you for this because there's very few other people that would.
Would you like help with that, Sanji?
yes, please.
Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers.
Okay.
That's basically patents for products they've made.
Okay. And
Obviously,
P3 something X, whatever that
that
was.
is a product.
Okay, that is a specific product that they make.
Hmm.
Okay.
Title:
So,
Head-mounted display based 3D content motion sickness reducing technology.
Yeah.
okay. So the patent is for reducing motion sickness when you're wearing a VR headset.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool.
Which would be good. That's a thing that I could see as being useful because a lot of people get motion sick with those things.
Yes.
Not everybody mind, but enough people to make it a product that a lot of that would people would clamor for. The only question is, are they going to actually make it? Because a patent doesn't mean that they're going to.
Yes.
We all know that every one of us should know at least something about the video game space. They'll put together patents so that nobody else can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's their only use. It's a thing called a preventative patent.
Yeah.
Those are almost always filed in the United States.
Yeah.
He is an advisor to Playkey.
Okay.
Also VR company. Oh. Uh-oh. What did the Earth 2 website call him? Uh,
Remember, you should say it's your show after all.
That's true. He was a, quote, co-founder of Oculus VR.
Oh, well, that would be a credit. that
If it were
would
true.
be a valid credit.
If it were true.
Uh-oh.
Says here on his LinkedIn that he was the Korean business manager.
Oh, that guy. Now I know. Okay. I now have everything in contest. Click. The content manager. That doesn't make him a founder.
No, it does not, sir.
And the Korean arm for Oculus was part of the purchase that Flakebook made.
Yep. And
Me,
he
I would much
also,
prefer HTC
yeah.
because I'm thinking I would prefer HTC because HTC is at least honest with everybody. We know their dicks because they said so.
He also worked at Autodesk for 1 year, 7 months.
Does it give his job role? Does it give his role?
Product specialist sales executive for 7 months, and industry account sales executive for 1 year.
Oh, well, that would actually make him one. How long ago was that?
That would be 2011, sir.
Oh, goody, because that means he was around to to be the person behind the idea that Autodesk should go strictly to a should go to a strictly subscription model, because
Yes.
the time frame we're talking about is shortly before they decided that they weren't going to sell permanent licenses anymore, which pissed me the fuck off because I had actually managed to put enough money together for a permanent license for Maya, and about 3 days before, and somewhere right in that neighborhood, shortly before I tried to put my money down, they stopped offering permanent licenses.
Yep.
I was pissed. I was wandering around. I was stomping around the house ranting about it for 3 freaking days. My wife will tell you.
And he also worked at Scaleform for 2 years, 6 months as the business director of Korea.
Scaleform is owned by Autodesk, as far as I know.
Yes, it is.
Ooh, okay. How do I not have access to whatever?
He is also the global business manager for Korean Game Industry Agency.
Why does that sound terrifying?
Yeah.
I am now officially terrified by that thought. Yeah. Korean Games Agency, that could mean anything.
Mobile apps mainly, I guess.
Hmm?
Mobile app games.
That's no fun.
Yeah, that's definitely no fun. And he's also the global business manager for Indoors Corporation from January 2016, 2006 to March 2021. I can't talk today. Shoot me.
No.
No.
You are not to die without written authorization from your great-great-grandchildren. And I refuse to stick around long enough for them to actually force them to sign.
Anyway, he is from January 2006 to March 2007. There, I know I'd get it out in a minute. Oh, he also has MMO RPG experience.
Ooh.
All right,
Wait.
That's it for me for now, but I will be back in a second.
Okay, I want to know which MMORPG they're talking about, because if it's from a mobile app, I'm just gonna laugh.
It could be anything. It could be anything, really.
Yeah, he could have been the one that designed the buttons on the suits for Elite Dangerous, because that's an MMO.
Well, it says global business manager, so it doesn't sound like any development has been done in any way.
Okay, so he's a non-developer, and he's the only person on the list at all that's even seen the inside of MMO of the way MMOs are made.
Right.
Maybe not. Let's take an example. You walk in a car repair place. The people that are sitting in the office might have never seen the inside of your workshop at all, because those are office people. They might have no idea how anything works, to be honest. So no, I wouldn't say that. And then again, we have no idea what those people did. Apparently, they did something. Somewhere.
Yeah, something somewhere, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
The main issue with Dylan though is that he's being claimed that he's a co-founder. when that's not anywhere really else claimed as far as I have seen. And it's wrong no matter what you say. So it's overselling, and it's overselling employees to build trust where there shouldn't be trust in that form because it's built on a lie, basically, or a partial lie. Let's say a partial lie,
Hmm.
because he worked for Oculus, but he was not a co-founder. But who would you trust more, a founder in Oculus, or somebody working for Oculus in support, first level 1 support? I think you would trust a founder way more than a
Yes,
salesman or somebody who works in support when it comes to
absolutely.
doing.
Honestly, the support guy probably knows more about, probably actually knows more about the inner workings of the damn thing. The tier 1 support guy, he probably knows more about it than either of the other two.
Yeah, well, most likely, yes. The support guy would know more about Oculus products than most likely he did. Who knows? I have no idea if he ever used VR or if he just tried to sell it or what he did. I mean,
And see,
most likely.
here's the other thing. There are three critters that lie as a function of existing.
Mm,
Politicians and salesmen make up the first two.
yep.
And the third?
The third is the poor guy in tech support. The third is the poor guy in tech support that is being told the wrong things, and then is told to tell the lie to get the caller to go the fuck away. Oh yeah, we'll have somebody pop around to your house tomorrow to have a look at that. Click.
Like,
I've been that guy. I didn't like that.
Hey, that
Generally,
sounds like my ISP.
yeah.
Well, it's all but those jobs though, you talk off a script, don't you? You have a script in front of you, and you talk off that. You ask questions, and then if it goes no, you go to the next page, and it gives you the answer. And if it's a no on that one, you go to the next page, and so forth. It just
Yeah, the script isn't
it's bad.
necessarily all that good. I think you're giving it a little too much credit.
yeah. Let's see here. We also have David Novak. Yes,
Ooh,
he
he
is.
actually saved the whole live stream.
We actually have David Novak, Sebastian Fer, and Thomas Markin, being the community manager.
Okay. Community manager is you talk to the people, you actually lie to the people more. You get to lie to all of the people because you are actually you are the proper number 3 on the list. But
Not quite correct. Not quite correct. Community managers most often also hand social media and ads on social media and stuff like that. They are basically building a community and doing advertisement and marketing even.
yep.
They bridge the gap between the devs and the community.
Except that the devs are lying sacks of shit, in my opinion. uh, the marketing guys, they have their own problems.
The
Especially
thing is,
when
the
but
thing is,
the community manager, like the tech support guy, the community manager is usually stuck with whatever the developers are telling them.
Well, the thing is, in general, how it is. Everybody in the development team and everybody besides the CEO can actually believe fans were honestly in the project. But it doesn't matter if the CEO is lying and is doing a scam. This has happened before. Theranos, the $9 billion scam, is an example of that. A big
Oh yeah,
example.
no, I'm familiar with Theranos. I've seen several videos on that one. And then went back and did my own research on the topic.
So I would be a little bit careful, like claiming that they all scammers and stuff like that. I mean, the scam is, the game is no doubt a scam in my eyes.
But just
Um,
you gotta watch
Mm.
who exactly you're accusing.
but but the question,
People at
but the
sea level
question,
are almost certainly in the know.
but the question is how much are the other people involved in this project been scammed, lied, or tricked to?
Honestly, at this point, I'm honestly having a hard time believing that even the people that are buying it are really buying into the whole thing. I mean, yeah, there's going to be some idiots. These are the same idiots that, they put their whole paycheck into the lottery thinking, "Oh, I'm going to win this time."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are people like that, and those people, I'm not. Those people are just idiots.
Exactly.
Okay, as I have maintained for a great many years now that the lottery is a tax for people who are bad at math, and this here is in Earth 2. Yeah, we're not even getting to lottery levels here. Okay, as far as chances that you're going to make any kind of real money out of it, yeah, no, ain't going to happen.
For a chance. That's what it's by.
In fact,
Actually,
I honestly don't think there's much of a chance they're built because we talk a good game, but Richard Hogue over at Hogue Law, he had he had a go at the terms of service in almost the same way we did in that last review of the developer from Wednesday. And if he had a corporate client that brought him that as a contract, he'd flee. He'd tell his client to get the fuck out and not go anywhere near it ever again. And he himself he'd flee the country.
Mm.
It sounds to me like he was more inclined to flee the freaking planet, because that's where I'm at on that terms of service.
Yeah, it's so bad.
No. But if you get down towards the end, he talks about how it looks like a securities market. The terms of service are written like you would try and write a securities market, and they don't quite get the Ponzi scheme level. They don't get quite to the Ponzi scheme level because they're telling people up front that there is a substantial risk.
Right.
It's actually written into their terms of service. Yes, you may actually just lose everything. Not only that, but we can take it away from you at our leisure. And at leisure or whim and for any reason or none. If they determine to whatever standard they have, they can take away your virtual land and only have to give you, maybe the dime or whatever the hell it was you actually paid for it. But they get to determine what that was.
Right.
So if they determine that the land at the time you bought it was actually worth a penny, that's all they have to give you.
Exactly.
And that is your sole recourse, no less.
But isn't all tile sales supposed to be starting at 10 cents?
No. I don't know. I haven't looked. I've never even been to their freaking website. I've seen archives of their website. And I did that on purpose.
Yes.
And with malice of forethought, as explained in the review of the developer.
Yes. Speaking of which, it is about time for us to go for today. I'd like to thank you all for watching. I'd like to thank Alec, for joining us for this W2 report.
Thank you.
And I'd like to thank No Black Thunder for joining us today.
Please buy my tiles. I need money.
Except the money doesn't actually exist, or it doesn't appear to.
And yeah, go ahead.
We just got some fresh material to go over on top of the securities issues and maybe some of the tech that they can't make. We've got enough at this point that we're going that review the developer that I was expecting to wait a couple of weeks isn't going to be waiting. So that'll be over there on Wednesday, most likely. Or we might do a special. That might be fun too.
Yeah. I have been Sanji Himura. I'd like to thank you for watching the W2 Report live into the Metaverse. We took a look at the people involved in the Earth 2 scandal. But we will see you guys for another one on Monday, because Monday is coming. See you.
Yes, of course. Yeah, of course, Mr. Sterling. Of course, Monday is coming. I should tell him you do that because you did. You tell that you're doing it. Tell him you're doing that to him. He probably just wouldn't care.
All right, see you for real this time.